This episode of the Caiminds podcast, but what the fuck? Take two. This episode of the Caiminds podcast is brought to you by fucking no one. Because no one still sponsors us. Fucking no one. Because your life is sad.
Okay.
Welcome to the Comical and Inspirational Minds podcast, where we talk about everything that's gaming, anime, comics, and everything in between. Almost lost my breath then.
Don't kill yourself, Jamie.
I know, I nearly fell out of my breath. What? I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, joining us today is L to the J. It's LJ.
Yo.
Joining me is, look, before we go any further, let's think of a catchphrase for Haruko. Haruko. The Faruko? Yeah, that would do for now. Haruko the Faruko.
No. I'm gonna just say my pussies are asleep.
The always smexy Haruko.
And also joining us today is the always smexy Haruko.
I like mine better.
Yeah, that doesn't work. Anyway, shall we get right into it with... Actually, no, not LJ this time. Haruko, shall we begin with you?
Alright, and mine is actually somewhat of a continuation from my, last one. Because it's related to Naruto. And this is so fucking stupid. Guys, I was, looking at my Facebook, a few days ago, actually, and my friends were like, what the fuck is this shit? And I was looking, I was like, what is it? And it turned out there is over, maybe 500 signatures so far of ban Naruto or else we're gonna, blah, blah, blah. And the reason being is that they want an alternate reality where Naruto marries Sakura.
Oh, for God's sake.
Ah.
Well, the problem with that is... No, we're not going to do that.
First of all, didn't, Sakura, like Sasuke, and continued to like Sasuke, went on a rebound because Sasuke left her, and she manipulated Naruto's heart, where Naruto is like, fuck this shit, I'm leaving, kind of thing.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
Yeah, but seriously, what is the attraction? Other than the fact that his mom says, go marry a girl that's just like me.
Well, I've never seen Naruto before. The only, like I said before, the only exposure to Naruto I've ever got is the Full Burst 2 and 3 on the PlayStation 3. And I can kind of get why people are pissed off because they thought Sakura and Naruto were going to get together. But at the same time, you need to give credit to the creators. I mean, do you give in to the fans and give them what they want? Or do you carry on doing what you want as a creator? Do you let your ideas flourish? Do you carry on creating the content that you know and love at risk of fans hating it? Or do you just give in to the hate? I suppose it's a fine balance, isn't it? You have to give in to some things that'll be like, yeah, I guess I'm kind of right. I guess I could do that. I mean, I can understand situations like that, but no, don't. It's just stupid. Don't ban Naruto just because
there's half the
you didn't get what
signatures
you
they
want.
need. Maybe less than that, but there
jeez.
was so much of it.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen, is it?
Oh my god.
Ban Naruto.
Hey Naruto fans, why don't you just focus on something else, you know?
By the end?
Oh god. But in all honesty, I'm just saying the ending was good enough. Naruto got his just desserts. He got 2 kids that are even more brat than himself. He got to marry a girl that loved him throughout the years of him being a ninja, and and then Sakura got her just desserts too. I mean, she's always like, Sasuke, I love you, and all this good stuff. And then he's like, well, I've been giving hickeys to this one girl that looks just like your daughter right now. And she goes no! And she still loves the daughter anyway, so what can you do?
What can you do?
It's what?
Don't give in to the hate.
Yeah, I'd rather that, creators consider the feelings of their fans if they think that you're fucking up, but at the same time, it's your own creative freedom. If they don't buy your manga, at least you've, like, made it your way and not give in, because the story should be yours, not theirs. Or rather, it should be all of yours, but mostly yours.
Good point.
Mostly yours, but only mine. I dictate the story, damn it. My word is final. I am your god.
If fan fiction writers were the same way, wouldn't the fan fiction go a different direction?
Probably.
Yeah, more than likely. I mean, if a lot of these fans had their way, we would have gay pairings and ship-ins and whatever you fangirls call them.
And that's where free comes in.
Oh, God.
Free is like the fans just wanting something so much that the creators are like, you know what? Just fuck it, we need the money. Let's just make some gay porn shit that looks like it's not gay porn and shove it on TV. And let's see how it floats. And it floats really nice.
No pun intended. Okay, shall we move on to LJ? Because I believe you want to talk about Sonic Boo!
Okay.
Not boom, but boo!
When I'm
The
reviewing
furry community did that.
When I am reviewing games or movies or whatever, I like to talk in a fast voice and be all silly and funny, but no more. Sonic Boom: The Rise of Lyric is the worst fucking game I have played in my life. It puts 06 to shame. It puts Sonic 4 to shame. It puts any bad video game.
Sonic 4 was good.
If you
don't diss on Sonic 4.
Shut up! It puts any bad video game you could think of to shame. Its plot, atrocious. Its characters, sucky. Its voice acting, okay, that's kind of good. Its gameplay, horrible. Its speed sections, worse than Mach Speed in 06. Its platforming, ass. Its combat, simplistic. Nothing in this game fucking works, and I hate it.
So...
What would you give it out of 10?
2. I'd give it a 2 out of 10.
So
But-
basically, it's a game for noobs.
Pretty much. But good news is that the TV series also came out, as well as the 3DS game Shattered Crystal. And I played the demo for Shattered Crystal, and it actually plays pretty well. It actually plays more akin to what you'd expect out of a Sonic game. And the TV series is actually kind of fun, so...
Yeah, the first episode had me in stitches. It was really funny.
The second
Even for a kid show.
Yeah, the first 2 episodes were great, especially the second one, considering it's about Eggman having to be roommates with Sonic and Tails and just all the consequences to come for that.
It was like, yeah, this just would not happen, but it's exciting seeing what would happen.
Yeah, there was one scene in the second episode where like Amy was trying to have Sonic, Tails, and Eggman, like, you know, talk it out and not have to resort to violence or anything. And she's like, okay, Sonic, is there something you want to say to Eggman? Yes, actually. You're a horrible roommate and nobody in this house likes you. And then she says, okay, let's structure it as, when you do this, it makes me feel this. And he goes, okay, when you live here, it makes me feel angry, because you're a horrible roommate and nobody in this house likes you.
That was so funny.
And also, I liked how during the first episode there were sidekick auditions and Amy treated it like it was a stage show or something.
Is Haruko having an orgasm or is she dying? I have no idea what that sound was. The fuck?
Oh my god! If every single government political peace treaty started out like that, it would be the best TV show ever!
Oh my god.
Just imagine Bush and, like, Obama and then like, Clinton is just going like, okay, guys, let's talk this out. And then Bush goes like, I fucking hate you, I want to bomb your entire city.
Let's structure it as, when you do this, it makes me feel this. Okay, when you're living and breathing, it makes me feel horrible.
Once you're putting healthcare out for free, it makes me want to bomb countries.
I think the government's gonna take down this episode, guys.
The government hates Caimind.
Hey, at least it's not copyright problems.
Ah!
Nah, otherwise I just be playing 80s rock music that's been copyrighted. Like this. Video's been blocked.
So let's get back to the topic. So, you liking it then, LJ?
I'm liking the show, and from what I played of the Shattered Crystals demo on 3DS, that one's actually fun. I'm just really not liking Rise of Lyric. I don't know if it was just rushed out the door, but it feels incomplete, and there are so many glitches. Like, within the first day, someone discovered a glitch where you can make Knuckles double jump infinitely to pretty much bypass sections of the game, and I've heard...
Yeah, but to the credit of the developers, it's not like it wasn't there deliberately, like, you go to and stand there and then it just so happens. It's not a glitch like that. Someone found an exploit, and it's not like you're going to go out your way to do it unless you already know how to do it.
But ignoring the glitches that you're going to look for, there are just glitches all over the place. I remember I was playing as Amy at one point, and I'm on this balance beam because Amy's the athletic one of the game, and I was trying to get off the balance.
Athletic.
Yeah, I was trying to get off the balance beam, but I couldn't get the fuck off. I was just... and you could ask Pink, she was in a call. I was just yelling, "Get the fuck off of there!"
Well, you know, girls love beams for one reason and one reason only.
Okay! But there was...
But at least it's not as bad as Sonic Heroes and the... Oh, God. Sonic Heroes on the play... It's probably other consoles, but especially the PlayStation 2 version on the rail section.
The Sky Rail, right?
The Sky Rail, you just couldn't... No, Sky Rail was Sonic Adventure 2, but the Sky Rail section of Sonic Heroes...
Rail Canyon. Rail Canyon.
Rail Canyon. There we go. Rail Canyon. In Rail Canyon, you hated being on that rail, so I just ended up being so slow with a flying character just in case I fell off, because honestly, it would just snap to left or right.
I'd rather play a Sonic game that was entirely made of levels based on Rail Canyon than I would play Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric again.
You would seriously play a Sonic game for Rail Canyon? Rail Canyon was the most glitchiest level of that game.
I'm not saying I would. I'm saying I'd rather do that than play Rise of Lyric, because Rise of Lyric is horrible, and it's so incomplete. Like, another glitch I ran into is I was just playing as Knuckles, and he randomly fell through the floor.
Like, well, considering the fact that he has all those muscles just built up over the years, and just one step is just...
Oh yeah, they gave Knuckles a steroid injection in between games, as well as giving him the leftover fingers from the model from the fucking stupid Blue Core Studios film.
And Sonic has blue arms.
I couldn't care less for that. Honestly, I
only found out a few minutes ago before coming on this podcast. So I was just...
Really? That's been in the news that's been in gaming news for like months, dude.
I know, I can't believe I didn't realise. I was watching the great Clement on YouTube, and one of his comments was, Sonic has blue arms. Wait, what? Holy shit, he has blue arms! Why did I not realise this before?
Sonic decided to implant his butt hair onto his arms?
Apparently!
But I'm just glad it wasn't Sonic's team's doing. It was Red Button.
It was Big Red Button. Like, I will say, I think the reason the 3DS game is actually looking decent, at least, is because Big Red Button wasn't involved. It was a different gaming company. I can't remember the name, but I know they're involved with games like the Sly Cooper series. So,
I mean, Big Red Button. I could be wrong in saying this, but as far as I'm aware, Big Red Button's biggest game and only game to record is Sonic Boom Shattered Crystal on the Wii U. So
actually, no. I think they may have been involved with the Ratchet and Clank games, if I'm not mistaken.
They might have been, but on their website it's just advertised like Sonic Boom, and I can't find anything else. But that's how I'm getting it. But anyway, I'm just glad that Sonic Team is not involved with this.
Yeah, and
Because if Sonic Team did mess this up, it'll be like, right, no faith whatsoever. And even Sonic Team were a bit like, okay, another team's making Sonic games, alright.
So
This is a first.
So
They were a bit apprehensive at first, and so were we when we found out. But
yeah, and they
still.
were like, and the games in the series were pretty much developed at the same time. So it's no wonder why one of the games turned out to be absolutely unfinished.
But does this mean the next main Sonic game from Sonic Team will be good because they've had an extra year to develop?
I'm hoping so. But, I will say this. I will say that, one positive I can give Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric is that it gives the voice actors more free reign to actually work with their characters, because, you know, they've a few voice actors with a few of their characters have been a bit sketchy, but they're actually doing really good in the Boom media, especially, Shadow actually makes a quick appearance in, Rise of Lyric, and it's a very disappointing appearance because he barely does anything. But for as little as he was there, Kirk Thornton's voice performance was awesome.
And we haven't really heard Shadow's voice much, have we? I think Sonic Generations was the only time we heard Shadow's voice, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was
All-Star Racing Transformed.
Yeah, and it was like, you got this, Sonic.
You've got... Oh, God, that made me shudder in disappointment when I heard, you got this, Sonic.
And
I'm dying.
honestly, I think Kirk Thornton's a good choice for Shadow, especially considering he played characters like friggin' Saix from Kingdom Hearts 2.
this kind of feels like a deja vu because this kind of argument and rant actually came from my other friends, but instead of Sonic, it was actually Devil May Cry. When that ninja company took Devil May Cry and effed it over for most of the fans.
Team Ninja.
Yeah.
The same company that fucked up Metroid.
They didn't fuck it up. They just gave it a new spin, and fans didn't like it.
They fucked it up! It was horrible! Other M was garbage!
Alright then.
So it kind of feels that way right now when you're talking about Red Button doing that for the Sonic team shit.
But hey, let's just hope the next Sonic game is going to be... who the fuck are we kidding? I've been a huge Sonic fan for ages. I've lost though.
Sonic Team, make Sonic Adventure 3
Yes! Sonic Adventure 3. Anyway, let's stop talking about Sonic because this has gone on way too long. And shall we go on to the third and final topic, which is PlayStation's 10th anniversary. So,
Woo!
PlayStation 1 came out in 1994, November, and it's been a great 10 years. And instead of just talking about the good moments, I'm just going to ask you guys, what was your favourite moment on PlayStation, LJ and Haruko?
Oh, I got one.
The original PlayStation?
No, PlayStation in general.
I got one.
As long as it's PlayStation.
This is actually more like a nostalgia for me, but I never had a game console other than a handheld when I was a kid. Because my mom, she thought that if I had a console on the TV, it would take away my life. Yet she gave me a handheld, and it made me super happy. But when I finally got a console for the TV, my very first one was a used, you have to tip it over to the side, PlayStation 1. And my first game is Final Fantasy 9. And it was something that was never, gone from my memory, ever. Because Final Fantasy 9, because I played 7 on my friend's PS, but my very own game, Final Fantasy 9, what had the greatest graphics at that time, also was a fun story, and I get to play it when my mom's at work. So it was 6 hours of fun each night my mom wasn't there. And it was just super fun. And when I was playing it, it just gave me so much joy that this game existed on a console that I just got like that. And that was my very great moment of the PlayStation.
LJ?
My favorite moment for the PlayStation is I didn't have an original PS1 and I didn't get a PlayStation system until the PS2. However, because I had an N64 during that generation, but I played PS1 with my friends who had the console all the time, and one of the fondest memories I have is playing Spyro Year of the Dragon on with them. That game is the shit, and I'm happy that it's on PSN and I'm able to play it again now, because I just have so much fond memories of that game, from like, you know, the colorful settings to the great gameplay to the multiple characters to just the fun times I had with friends playing it.
My favourite memory of PlayStation was... I can't remember what Christmas it was. PlayStation 2 came out in 2001. I think it was 2003 I got my PlayStation 2. Christmas 2003 I got my PlayStation 2, and I got 10... I got quite a few games for the PlayStation, and there were games that were terrible, but because you were a kid, you just love that sort of like simplicity of the games. Like Fight and Fury, the worst fighting game ever made. There was Tank. Oh shit, I can't remember what it's called. Basically, you fight tanks. And then there was
Tank!
Robot Warlord, which was my first RPG battle system. I'm just trying to explain it. It's like you have to move blocks before you can attack, that type of system, a la some Final Fantasy. There were just games I wouldn't normally play today, but I still remember playing them. They'd be so satisfying, just because it was a PlayStation. I only had a Dreamcast at the time, and that was the time where Dreamcast games were stopped being sold on the shelf, so I had nothing new to play.
Dreamcast was one of the best consoles I've ever seen. I went to a friend's place and I played Sonic on that thing, and I was super happy.
I have a Dreamcast, and I have both Sonic Adventure games on it. I am happy.
You know what? I've got Sonic Adventure 1. I got it the year it came out. It came out in... when did it come out? 99. I got mine Christmas on 99. And I got Sonic Adventure. And you know what? It's been 15 fucking years and I still haven't completed it 100%. So you know what? I got it on the PlayStation Network and I'm going to complete it 100%. But anyway, this isn't Dreamcast, this is PlayStation. So, what's your most satisfying moment, Haruko?
For the PlayStation, I already explained that.
Yeah, okay then.
But I want to explain it again if you want.
No, that's your favourite moment. I was saying
Oh, most satisfying, okay.
This could be like an achievement, like completing your first game.
I'll see it after him then.
Okay, my biggest achievement is when I had played Kingdom Hearts for years, and yet I had still never beaten it alone, at least. I always had the help of a family member or a friend. And I remember, like, a couple years ago, I set out to beat the game fully by myself, and I was there, I was playing it, I was, like, sweating because I was at a part that I normally got stuck at, and that was a big room of Heartless before Ansem, who's the final boss. And so I beat it, and then I'm fighting Ansem, and I keep hearing how hard this guy is. I fight him, and I'm not dying once, and I'm just getting tense because I'm on the final phase, and it's like, oh, I don't want to die, I'm gonna die, I'm out of potions, I'm out of healing items, I'm gonna die, and then I beat him, and I'm like, yes! And that was the most satisfying moment.
Haruko?
Oh. My most satisfying moment was actually, two things in Final Fantasy IX again. One was actually getting the navy blue chocobo, the one goes in the deeper water, but never got the golden one, which kind of sad, but it was so satisfying to at least get the blue chocobo that goes directly into the deeper ocean so I can play more of those like chocobo games. And another one was beating the entire game by myself without my friend's help, because my friend was the one who always helped me with Final Fantasy VII on her console, but with Final Fantasy IX, I beat the entire freaking boss, including the screams and the wailings in the background music, and I saw the ending of it by myself, and it was so excruciatingly happy, because I felt like, oh my gosh, I did something with my life. Yeah!
My satisfying moment is actually two things. The first one is completing Shadow Hearts on the PlayStation 2, the best RPG series in my opinion. It was so difficult for me because I've never played a JRPG in my life before that point. So I didn't know how the systems, how to match, how to combine stuff to get better attack ratio. It was just completely new to me, and being able to complete the first Shadow Hearts game was just so satisfying to me, because it actually felt like an achievement for me. It was the longest game I've ever played. It was the hardest game at that point I've ever played, and it was just so satisfying because it was a JRPG. And I guess my second one, which is tied for this one, is getting platinum trophies. Yes! Platinum trophy. I'm a trophy whore. I don't give a shit what you guys think.
That's why you're into achievements, isn't that right?
Yeah. Basically, Xbox achievements. Even though all my platinum trophies are the easiest trophies I've ever got, it's Family Guy, Back to the Multiverse, very easy. Terminator Salvation, which I bought just for the platinum trophy. Sonic, it'll be Sonic and Sega's Mega Drive or Genesis collection for you guys, and Sly 1. There was a few others, but I can't remember. But just trophies in general, when you get that hardest achievement trophy, it's like, yes, it's popped. So yeah, completing Shadow Hearts and getting trophies, it's just, I can't wait to do it on the PlayStation 4. Right, 2 more questions. What is your least favourite moment, LJ?
Least favorite moment in PlayStation history? It would either be having to play through Sonic 06 on the PS3, or finding out that or seeing what they've done to the Spyro series in recent years.
When I played Sonic 03, I can't even talk. Sonic 06 on the PlayStation 3, it was filled with glitches, and I was told the Xbox 360 version was the superior version. So I borrowed my friends who had it, and I thought, I'm a trophy whore. There's no trophies for it, so I'll borrow it on the Xbox 360 just for the achievements. And then I found out the glitches were exactly the same. The slowdown was exactly the same. The load times, even with the installation, was the same. So yeah, I don't know why people keep saying it's a definitive version. It's not.
It's not. Neither are. And honestly, I find the 360 version worse.
Haruko, least favorite moment of PlayStation.
This would be the most obvious because I mentioned earlier that my first PlayStation was one of those, like, the older ones where you have to tilt it to the side to make sure that it works. Now think of it this way, I'm in a very big climactic area and I saved, like, a long way back because there's no save point. And I'm, like, looking at the story and all of a sudden it acts up. And then I'm like, what's wrong with you? And then then the glitch, like, it stops all of a sudden. And I have to pop it up, and then I'm just trying to make sure that everything's good, put it back, and I have to start all over again.
Oh, shit. I know that feeling, because that's my least favourite moment.
And also the fact that corrupted disc. The memory thing, like, corrupted memory thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
My least favourite moment is... it's kind of the same thing, but losing your memory. I have a max 64 megabyte memory card for the PlayStation 2, and it's because it's not an official thing. It's not the most reliable, but those people who bought it in recent years are saying, "Oh, it doesn't work. It's late in saves," and what. I've got none of those issues, but there was a time where I was so far into a game. And I didn't save properly because it says that do not press start or do not turn off or do this or remove while it's saving. I'm not sure if I did that because I came back to the game the next day and it said it was corrupted. I went, you fucker, I was only half an hour away from completing it. And the same thing with my PlayStation 3. I had the original 60 gigabyte PlayStation 3 that was backwards compatible with PlayStation 2, sorry. And it yellowed light of death on me, and I had so many saves on it. And this was before I had a PlayStation Plus at the time, so I couldn't back it up to the cloud. Just thinking back at it just made me want to scream and shout and let it all out. Sorry.
Twist and shout
and let it all out. Anyway, copyright. So yeah, just losing game saves and data was the most awkward time. Most annoying time. Because, what was that game on the PlayStation 3 I was so close to complete? I was so close to completing Final Fantasy 13. I was on chapter 11, near the end of chapter 11. And I had to start all over again, and I'm only at chapter 4 or 5. I'm at chapter 5 at the moment.
I would have thrown the game out the window at that point, because Final Fantasy 13 is fucking boring.
It's a hallway!
Loads of people say that, but I'm playing it just for the story. I think the story is really good, the characters are interesting, and that's why I'm playing.
I don't think it has that going for it.
Spoonie actually had a good point about what the characters are. They're actually, they're always trying to be like, I want to save Cocoon, I want to save the world because stuff. And what they're doing is, I am a lassie, shoot machine gun. It's like, fear me! And everybody is fearing.
Fear me!
Well, apparently Final Fantasy 13-2 and Lightning Returns are meant to expand on the story, so...
I will admit, I've played a bit of 13-2, and it is better from what I'm seeing, but it still kind of suffers from the same problem. I will admit, I think Lightning Returns is a little fun from what I'm playing.
I think Lightning Returns is a little different, atmosphere-wise, than 13 and 13.
Yeah, and I think it's a very fun game, honestly. Just from what you need to do, though the time limit is a bit of a bitch.
Ugh, I hate time limits in a game.
6 days.
Okay, guys, let's go through this as quick as possible. Most favorite and least favorite game on the PlayStation. Haruko.
Does PSP count?
Yes.
Okay, I hate Phantasy Star Portable. Oh my god. I was playing on it. It's so cool. I get to customize my characters. I can be the bitch that holds the axe, or the bitch that shoots things, or the bitch that casts magic. I'm like, yeah, I want to play this. And then I played it, and I played the ranged characters, and I'm like, the fuck am I supposed to aim at, bitch? I'm not a ranger. And then I'm like playing through the game, and all these people look like little dolls made out of 3D plastic, and I'm like, okay, where's the story? and then it's supposed to have a story. I'm like, where's the story? I played this for 30 minutes and I don't have a story. Boring. I gotta make a new character. And then I made a new character. This time a axe wielding bitch. She plays better. I got to get all my frustration out from the last one with the axe bitch, because I'm like, boom, boom. That's what you get, you stupid game. Boom.
Haruko, calm down. Breathe.
Anyways, long story
What's
short,
your favorite game?
This game I hate. Anyways, the best games, and I'm saying games because I have ties. One being Star Ocean, both of them, because those ones actually have story, unlike the other one. Anyways, they have a good story, it has good gameplay, which eventually leads to the fact that I like Tales games because of it is like a portal to that kind of thing. And another one is Persona 3. Oh my fuck god. That game on the PSP was amazing. It has everything I want. Dungeon crawling, RPG, fighting shit with weapons that actually aim better. And you got story
Plus
time.
the female protagonist. Plus the female protagonist is awesome.
Female protagonist is the best. If you look at all the choices that she says things, she's very optimistic.
Yeah. Yep. That's my favorite version of Persona 3, because I didn't really care for the original PS2 games because I found them boring and repetitive, though they'd have an interesting story which kept me from going, kind of like how Jamie feels regarding Final Fantasy 13. But I played Portable, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, holy shit, I'm legitimately having fun.
It's mainly because her side of the story is that she has more hope. Unlike Minato is just there, and then he suddenly feels like he's obligated to do it. But then with her, she's like,
My whole life means nothing. I am emo. Bah.
Yeah, and with her, she's like, I want to do everything I can because I am the main protagonist and I'm gonna do everything. And that kind of spirit makes you feel like you're playing as her, and you're like, oh my god, I want to save the world too. We are best buddies. We are besties. And then I'm like, wait, I'm besties with myself.
And we trust our fate to the heart of the cards.
And
No matter what.
the best pairings with Minako, and I mean Minako as a girl, is Ryoji, the guy you eventually like have to fight, but he is super funny when you go into his route. Akihiko's really good. My favorite out of them is Shinji and Ken, because
Shinji's my favorite though.
This is just going over my head.
I'm not a fan of romancing Ken because that kind of disturbs me.
It's pedophilia in a way, but I love Ken. In like 10 years, he's gonna be the most beautiful and handsome man ever, despite being a little possessive.
Okay, LJ, let's quickly move on to you before she starts again.
Least favorite game on a PlayStation system would probably have to be either Final Fantasy XIII or the original Hyperdimension Neptunia, because both are unbelievably crap. Neptunia is slightly more crap because at least Final Fantasy XIII is appealing to look at and has some good voice acting, while Neptunia is dreadful to look at and has subpar voice acting.
And most favorite?
It's actually a tie between 3 games. The original Kingdom Hearts, and as well as the HD remake, because that one played very smoothly. Persona 4, both versions, the PS2 version and the PS Vita version. And Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch on PS3.
It's Miyazaki. What do you expect? It's the best kind of thing ever if he's on there.
Of course, it's Studio Ghibli. But yeah, I will say, Kingdom Hearts I like because it takes 2 completely unrelated things and combines them and yet makes something great, and the gameplay and combat is smooth, and once you really start upgrading your moves, you really feel like a total badass, but the challenge is never removed.
Oh my gosh.
Persona 4 I like the best out of the Persona series because I like the lighthearted nature of it, while its ability to kind of have this serious story about a serial murder case. And I think the characters are a little more identifiable than in 3 because the problem with 3 was, like, in the original, you didn't have social links with a lot of these characters. It wasn't until Portable with the female story where you got social links for characters like Junpei, Akihiko, Ken, and Shinji.
Yeah.
But instead of Junpei, you got like this character whose entire social link revolves around his disturbing crush on his teacher.
And also the fact that because of your broness, you get to get him over the fact that his teacher is a skank. No, seriously, it is true. The teacher is a fucking skank. Yeah. Everybody said so. If you go into the Maya route, she goes like, "Oh, this teacher's a skank. I hate her, but I have to like deal with her because she is my coworker."
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just the story. Like, Persona 3 never had too interesting of a story in terms of its social links. When it actually had its main story, it was actually good. But Persona 4, I think, had it good on all levels. I liked the main story. I loved all the social links, particularly, Rise. I absolutely loved her social link. And it had more memorable characters and had more interesting concept with the shadows because, you know, just this part of yourself that you don't want, that you're subconsciously suppressing is actually an interesting concept. And sometimes it leads to some funny results depending on what that side is. Like how Kanji has a feminine side and that manifests into his shadow being flamboyantly gay.
I bet he and Naruto
and his dungeon is a bathhouse.
Woo!
Oh god.
Naked men just showing their asses everywhere.
And, like, you know, Kanji's shadow is like a gay stereotype and everything, like going, "Ooh, I wonder what's going to happen to me in there." But yeah, Persona 4 I love, and I especially love Golden with the 2 new social links and its refined combat and everything. And its more balanced difficulty.
If I had money, I would buy Vita, seriously.
And finally, Ni no Kuni, because Ni no Kuni is just fucking amazing. The world is fun to explore, the battle system's great, the characters are all relatable, and just, the main thing getting me through this game was not only wondering what's going to happen, but also the incentive of discovering new worlds and your ways of going by it. Because when you first start off, you're only on foot, but then later you get a boat, and then later a fucking dragon.
Ooh.
That is awesome.
A dragon.
Okay. My favourite games, because I've got two of them, is Shadow Hearts 1 and Shadow Hearts Confident, which is Shadow Hearts 2. Now, the reason both are my favourite is because I can't really pick between them, because Shadow Hearts 1 has a good story, great characters, and that's not saying that second one doesn't, but they're not really superior in a way. Shadow Hearts 2 has better features, better combat, better flow, the characters are memorable, but same as number 1, so it's very hard to distinguish which is better between them. Loads of people say Covenant, which is the second one, is better. Is the best of the two, and it really depends on your preference. The first one had no voice acting in. Second one has voice acting in, and it's done very, very well. The atmosphere in 1 is so much darker. It's all over the place. It really, at one point, I was legitimately scared when I first started playing it, because the atmosphere was just so real. The second one, it doesn't have that sort of dark feel to it. It's more light-hearted. It's more comedy. But that's not really a bad thing. It's just that the first one had better atmosphere. So yeah, I would. So 1 and 2 are my favorite. Now my least favorite is Shadow Hearts 3. Shocker, probably, for some of you, but reason for this is Shadow Hearts 3 is, in no regard, a bad game. A bad game? Yeah, I keep doing that.
Manger.
Sure. Manger. Stop reminding me of that.
You're going,
Too bad!
Shadow Hearts 3 is, in no regards, a bad game. It's just not for me. The characters are it's almost like a reboot. It's got nothing to do with the 1 and 2. It's the battle system has been made more complicated with the crest system, and in some points the crests are needed to progress further, because some bosses are really, really difficult and you need the crest, and that was too difficult for me to understand still. Because there's so many variations of it. The characters are just not as likable. They're not related. Your main character is a 12-year-old boy, and he's running his own detective agency, and that's just not interesting whatsoever. But the first one, you had Yuri, or whoever you called him in the first one. Yes, I was waiting for that. You have Yuri, who is a loner who is just out to try and get rid of the malice that's stuck within him. He can transform into many demons. And then you've got Alice, who falls in love with him, and vice versa. And
Alice.
Yeah. Haruko, only you. And then something happens at the end. Something happens during the first one that affects the plot of number 2, and it really affects Yuri in such an emotional way, and that's why 1 and 2 are so great, because it's a story. It continues. Shadow Hearts 3 just reboots it and starts again, and it's not good. I mean, obviously they have to reboot because of the ending of number 2, but you could just have a prequel, or maybe I'm trying so hard. Shut up, cat. Or shut up,
Don't tell
pussy.
cats to shut up.
My
Cats are
pussy
awesome.
won't shut up.
Well, I never
Wait,
knew you
what?
had a pussy.
Yeah, I had 2 pussies.
One of them being your asshole.
Haruko. But yeah, the third one just doesn't have that impact on me. So yeah, my least favourite game is Shadow Hearts 3, but my most favourite games are Shadow Hearts 1 and 2. Right. So, I'm not going to do it, but you two, do you have a question for what's on your Caimind?
What's
Not
on
really.
your Caiminds?
That's my job.
Well, I took it
Haruko's
from
job
you.
now. Haruko, what's your question?
Who would be your emoto slash adoto, or basically your little brother or sister?
So are you asking who I want my little brother or older brother
Yeah.
should be? So who do I want to be related to in anime?
L from Death Note, L.
L is gonna be your odoto, or something like that?
I don't know. I just want to be related to him.
I don't know. I've
just
never
just
thought of it.
imagine L going to you. It was like Oni-chan. And his deadpan look is like Oni-chan.
Oni-chan, get me some sweets.
I mean, this character, I probably would not pick her, but knowing my fucking luck, I probably will get her. That young girl from When They Cry. There's so many girls in When They Cry. When They Cry. It's one of my favorite anime, and I can't remember the fucking characters. That's terrible. Rika Fude.
She's gonna be your emoto.
Furude. Yeah, she's gonna be my younger sister because she's creepy as hell. She's a killer. She's a mastermind, and I'm probably going to be fucked. My life just sucks that way. I'm just gonna get the worst kind.
Okay, let's just...
So LJ, what's your question?
Give me a sec. Sorry, just give me a sec. Give me a second. Give me a fucking
Okay,
sec.
then I'll tell you my answer for mine. If I were to be out One-chan and I wanted like a little brother or sister that will go say One-sama or something like that. It's
Do you speak Japanese?
no.
Oh,
I just live close.
never mind.
I just live close to it technically by nation, but I know my waifu is gonna be Tomoko, but who is going to be my like little brother slash sister? This is. I want Italy.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Italy.
Italy! I'll give you all the pasta you want. Just call me One-sama.
Breaking news: Haruko has a disturbing incestuous relationship with her, with her little brother Italy. Okay, I got a question. Out of all the Sonic characters in any game, which one do you more closely relate to and why?
Tails.
Tails. Because Tails was a loner to begin with, wasn't he? Until he was found, and then he was brought out to be the best he could be. I'm not the best I could be, but
I'll do the best I could be.
I'm probably going to be Amy, and I.
But the thing is that
No, Amy is mine.
I
Oh,
like
God.
I am like Tails because of whatever Jamie said earlier, plus the fact that this is actually more like what actually is me, is that I wasn't as good as I was alone, because every time I was alone, I had nothing for myself. I had nothing to do. I wanted to be what other people are, but I always fail. But then the same person who introduced me to Final Fantasy VII with her PS1 that she got, she literally brought my life 180 by being a friend, and that is like how Sonic brought Tails into the game. And ever since then, like how Tails got all this thing that he's got very potential with. He's good at machinery, he's good at flying, he has all this like potential that has come to fruition because he had encouragement, which I relate to that the most, because when she did all the encouraging for me, I got into voice acting, I got into drawing, I was able to express myself a lot better, I was able to like get more friends because I had more confidence that I will have more friends sooner or later if I keep trying, like how I got my first friend, real friend, when I was in high school. Like everything that Tails was and is, it just spoke to me in that same sense. So I would say Tails.
I relate closer to Amy. I relate closer to Amy.
And why is that, LG?
Because we're both very fangirlish on certain things, but we both have a sense of sincerity, and both have the need to be better people and more, and like, you know, have more confidence.
Aww.
Aw, do you have a big gigantic hammer to hit your love interest with?
Not yet.
And that's all today on the Comic Con Inspirational Minds podcast. Thank you very much for joining us. That's been the Smexy Haruko.
Hey, I'm not gonna use that.
Okay. That
Let me
has
buy me
been
dinner
L to the
first
J.
before I use that.
That was L to the J. It was LJ.
Bye.
It's Lady
And
Jessica for you.
And I've been Jamie the...
Douchebag.
Yeah, okay then.
You know, at first I almost thought you said the lesbian LJ.
That could be arranged.
Perfect. Always end on a high note.